To all of our regulars, today, Danny signed off a phone call by saying, what did you say about the holidays?
Happy holidays ahead.
And I hope you have a happy holidays ahead.
Happy holidays. It was more so like, heads up, they're on their way. Happy holidays ahead.
Yeah, you better be good. Someone's going to be checking his list twice.
But the lady on the phone really liked that. Oh, wow. Yes, thank you.
I guess I'll have to take your word on that one. I can tell you the man next to you, not on the phone, really did not like that.
Happy holidays ahead.
Yeah, I will. If I never hear that again, it'll be too soon.
Well, there's still time. Not too much time though, because it is.
I know.
I was going to say it is the day before Thanksgiving. Is it not?
It is the day before Thanksgiving, and happy holidays ahead.
And FYI, just heads up, happy holidays incoming.
I do love the vibe of wishing people a happy holiday. Happy holidays
ahead
to you and yours. Did you hear that from someone, or you just made it up? It just like came to you?
I just didn't know how to end the phone call.
Well,
and she was being so nice.
That'll get her off the phone.
Yeah. She was being nice, and it's like, I better say something.
I bet she hung up and she's like, what a fucking freak.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, you've done that before where you're so nice on the phone, you hang up and you're like,
yeah,
we've all been there.
Yeah. My sign off when I hang up the phone, and I just say to myself, fucking idiot. That's just like my go-to, like my instinctual.
Anytime you hang up the phone.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. You have a good one. Fucking idiot.
I mean, you're not wrong. The other day I picked up a call and someone was asking if we did altercations.
I'm about to.
I'm about to get into one. So happy holidays ahead, everybody. It's the day before Thanksgiving. Lots to be thankful for. So I feel like people either really like and care about Thanksgiving or they dislike it and they just want to get it over with.
Thanksgiving is one of those where you either have a really strong positive feelings towards it, or I don't think there are people who hate Thanksgiving. I definitely know there are people who hate the food.
Right, which I am not one of.
I don't think that there are people who hate the holiday,
other than the people who aren't thankful. If you don't have anything to be thankful for, you're going to hate the holiday.
You're going to hate the holiday.
They're going to say, I don't want to have a happy holiday.
I understand people who hate the food. I get it. And somebody told us the other day that they believe turkey is the inferior fowl, which was a great point, because I'd rather have chicken too. But there's something about a full Thanksgiving feast that I just go crazy for.
And your favorite Thanksgiving food is?
It would be a combo forkful of mashed potatoes, stuffing with a little bit of turkey.
Yeah, and I don't think that that's all that interesting of a factoid.
I think that's what were you trying to get me to say?
I don't know. Is there one?
Well, my favorite Thanksgiving food is pizza. Give me pizza, pepperoni, please. What were you thinking I was going to say?
I didn't know what you were going to say. I feel like that's the very common thing that people like to do. And I think everyone who says that thinks that they're the only
No, I don't think that that's unique.
So what I do is I get it on one fork. I get a little bit of turkey.
Thanksgiving is the time of year where years ago there was some article written about the canned cranberries.
Oh. Yeah.
Years ago, it was some sort of a food article.
It was on Facebook.
And I only see it once every year, and it's about this time of year. But I commented, I don't even know why I did this. This was not even when I was not drunk. I was stone cold sober. I commented on the article, ribbed for my pleasure.
Because if you can picture the can of cranberries,
it's ribbed. Ridged.
Yes.
It's ridged.
It's ridged because you know how it's still shaped like a can after you get it out of there?
I maybe tagged our brother Tim in that. And I said, maybe I said, at Tim, ribbed for my pleasure. But whatever.
It was a short-sighted decision because you were not factoring in the fact that Facebook recycles
They recycle
algorithm
it
content.
and they show my friends, oh, Danny commented on this article. And so I was getting screenshots from people. They were like, good one. Screenshots of my comment ribbed for my pleasure. It's that time of year though, where it is. It's ribbed for my pleasure.
And happy holidays ahead to you.
Happy holidays ahead. What's your super unique favorite Thanksgiving food?
Oh, nothing unique about it, just mashed potatoes.
You are a mashed potato guy. You look like a mashed potato.
I feel like a mashed potato. A mashed potato. If you were to take mashed potatoes, put it in clothes. That's how I feel right now.
Yeah, that's true.
We ventured from our regular breakfast this morning, and we decided that we were going to treat ourselves to breakfast burritos. And what was like the upcharge?
It wasn't Mike's way. But
I'll have my breakfast burrito Mike's way, please.
It was like that.
It's like king
Maxed out. I'm going to have that maxed out.
maxed out. Yeah. So the place next to our shop, it's a taco place, and we have breakfast there every morning. And today we maxed out breakfast burritos, which was basically like you got to eat it with a fork and a knife, but it's smothered in sauces, and it had some.
We went to the max on it. Let's just say that.
So yeah, I'm feeling it, feeling it right now. But yeah, mashed potatoes. That's it. That's what I'm thankful for this year. Mashed potatoes. That is the go-to.
Real mashed potatoes, not box mashed potatoes.
Yeah, although I'll take the box, but that's not how we do it. And I don't mind having clumps, but gotta have a good mashed potato.
That's right.
Actually, I gotta find that sweatshirt. I got a sweatshirt last year that says mashed potato slut.
Mm-hmm.
And I wore it, and it was a big hit. And I don't know where I put it, but I'll find it and I'll wear it again. Something to look forward to, everyone.
That's what I'm going to be thankful for.
And I hope you have a great holiday ahead.
Happy holidays ahead.
Because tomorrow's Thanksgiving, we wanted to talk about gratitude, but not in a cheesy way. Because here's the thing about gratitude as it relates to running your own business. So often, entrepreneurs, small business owners, focus is on improvements. It's not necessarily on sitting back and being grateful with what they have accomplished. I think so often people are just not very good at acknowledging things that they're grateful for, things that are going well, because their sights are set further, they move the goalposts, and there isn't a lot of sitting in the success. And that's what tomorrow is all about. That's what Thanksgiving holiday is all about. It's about being grateful for what you have, not necessarily focusing on what you don't have. Although, of course, there's more that people want. There's more that business owners want. There's of course goals that you haven't achieved yet. That doesn't mean you can't be grateful for what you do have.
Yeah, that doesn't mean you can't find some contentment in what you have accomplished. And that's one of the things that we have always tried to be really intentional about doing in our own business is we call it checking into what we're doing and acknowledging that we are further today than we were last year at this time or last month or whatever it may be. But those sort of check-in moments are definitely things that they take intention because it's not the natural situation as a business owner. You are striving for more, and that's great. You know, business owners are driven. We are moving the goalposts. We are constantly trying to improve. But it is that time of year where it's time to give thanks with a grateful heart. Give thanks to the Holy One. Give thanks because he's given Jesus Christ, his son. Key change. And now let the weak say, I am strong. I am strong. Let the poor say, I am rich because of what the Lord has done for us. Give thanks. Core memory.
Core memory unlocked. Well, that was unfortunate for all of you.
I will say,
What was that from?
Well, it's a hymn.
Well,
isn't it a hymn?
I don't think so.
Oh, well, it's a song.
Yeah, what is it from? How do we know it?
Church.
Is it from church?
Duh.
No, I know, but like, was
Oh
it
yeah, it
something
was on the pop radio station this morning.
Oh, that's my favorite Dua Lipa song. No, I think I was curious.
Eminem.
It was from one of like those It's the tapes we used to listen to in the car.
Oh.
If it was like the Maranatha Singers, remember that?
Yeah.
So I was curious if it was from that or if it was from something else.
Well, that's a good.
See, now it's a good question.
Yeah,
Thank
it is
you
a good
very
question.
much. Regardless, you're welcome, everyone. And
that is what it's time for, giving thanks.
it's really easy as business owners to give thanks or to be grateful or to take stock of positives when you've accomplished a huge thing. When you have these big goals and you launch your IPO. That's something to
When's
celebrate.
that going to happen?
It already did. We celebrated it without you, me and the team.
Oh, you and the team, you and the squad.
It was quite a rager. No, of course you have these big goals and it's normal to celebrate those things. But as small business owners, it's really important to celebrate smaller things, smaller little micro wins. We'll talk about specifically what we mean in a few minutes, but the deal with when you run your own thing is it can be lonely. You can feel like you're all alone. You don't have a boss who's going to promote you. You don't have a boss who's going to bonus you or who's going to make you employee of the month. If you're not celebrating yourself and your own wins, nobody's going to. And if you aren't in the habit of acknowledging things that are going well, it's just a matter of time before you burn out or you lose your love for what you're doing.
And we've gone entire periods of years without what we would consider to be something major going well. We call that in our sort of day-to-day, we say the other shoe drops. And that's sort of reserved for what we've found is it seems to happen in our business every 3 or so years where we feel like the other shoe has dropped and something awesome has happened in our business, grown from intention, but we feel like we're kind of in that leveling up process. We have found that just in our careers, that type of other shoe dropping has been happening about every 3 years, which means that the majority of the time, we're not experiencing these big moments that are sort of celebration worthy. So it forces us to take stock of what we actually have accomplished and be intentional about celebrating it. And it doesn't always have to be something huge.
No, and I mean, if you were only celebrating the big things and you're only feeling grateful or content or excited about things every few years, that would suck. That's why it's important to acknowledge things that are going well, the little things, the smaller things, the small wins that are really important instead of only the biggest things ever. Let's talk about some things that we've sort of celebrated along the way. And maybe you regulars listening may think to yourself, oh, I have something coming up I should celebrate. Or, oh, I just did that myself. I should make sure to stop what I'm doing and celebrate that thing.
So when you're saying celebrate that thing, you're talking about what?
Well, what I'm talking about is just being grateful and acknowledging it. Now, what it could mean is, depending on what it is, it could be something that you mark with some sort of a trip or an item that you purchase, a little gift to yourself, a financial bonus. I don't know. I'm not going to tell you what to do, but
we'll maybe give some examples of some things that we've done.
I think
like
we
that.
should. Mm-hmm.
But what are some things some like maybe more micro things that we have celebrated, or at least that we have been able to check in and acknowledge that, hey, this is really cool that we've done this thing. I mean, maybe the first thing would be when we went full time in our business.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably not the first thing that we celebrated. I'm sure we celebrated when we got ties on store shelves back in the day and some of those little things. But, going full time, that's huge. That is huge. And if you've done that in business or you're going to do that and that's the goal, that's a huge milestone. And you might not be at the point where you can financially go crazy and splurge on something humongous, but do a little something for yourself.
I celebrated by moving into my parents' basement.
Yeah, what a celebration that was.
Great. I remember when we were new full time, we used to, it was just one of these. Cheers. We'd cheers to something specific. And I remember we used to do specific cheers every time we had a payday.
Yeah. Payday, I will say,
sucks.
Payday hits a little bit different when it's coming out of one of your accounts into another one of your other accounts.
I used to live for payday.
I still don't like payday. Even though we're making so much more now than we were then, I still dislike payday. I right before we came here, we were at the shop doing some things and I was like, Man, we're really going to bonus ourselves at the end of this month, huh? For Christmas.
Yeah, it's like it used to be so exciting. Now
It's like, oh, this is
we got to bonus
this
ourselves.
is the month, huh? Oh boy. Not looking forward to that.
I know. Well, but and then you think about it on the other hand, where we can afford to pay ourselves above and beyond what we need to make, on a monthly basis, just because it's that time of year again. It's Christmas. It's an expensive season. You're buying a lot of extra stuff. So we've just decided that instead of buying ourselves a fancy new Rolls Royce,
car,
a new Rolls Royce or something, instead of buying ourselves something, we just give ourselves a little extra money in December. That way we can have more to spend on people. But that's actually something that I would have been really grateful for back in the day when we were paying ourselves.
Yeah. We didn't have a lot of extra back in the day,
but it felt like such a win when we had enough to even pay what we needed for our very low expenses.
We'd go to the ATM and withdraw cash and then deposit it into our own personal accounts. That shows how little we were paying ourselves back then.
We hadn't exactly streamlined the operation at that point.
It wasn't a real streamlined process.
We still write ourselves checks, though. That's just the way we've done it.
Yeah. Well, what you going to do?
If you listen to the next episode about our tax preparer who embezzled from us, that's the next one coming out. You'll maybe know why we write ourselves checks now. We'll tell you a little about that. But
what are some other like minor things that you can, if you're struggling to find
business anniversaries,
something? Okay, there we go. But let me finish my thought. If you're struggling to find something, did you just get bored with my pace? Is that what it was?
I just was,
Kenny has a very short fuse for people who talk slow.
You can say that again.
So if you're ever struggling to find something to be thankful for, let's come up with some other things that you probably have experienced or will experience that you can be thankful for this Thanksgiving, upcoming. Happy holidays ahead.
I think I interrupted you because I already knew what you were going to say, and there's no reason. I didn't feel like there was any reason to continue to say it.
Oh, okay. Well, so business birthday.
Yeah, business birthdays or anniversaries. Ours is September 19. We actually haven't been very good about celebrating that the last couple of years. It's kind of flown under the radar the last few years.
Maybe a a post on Instagram for, I think I did one on the 10th.
Oh,
anniversary.
Wow. Oh, congrats. Oh, on the 10th anniversary. Mm-hmm. Right. I thought you meant on the September 10th.
No. Beat it by 9 days.
Core memory. Yeah. Well, we used to do better about that. We celebrate financial milestones as far as, making a certain amount. The first year that we hit $1 million in a calendar year, that was a big celebration. We bought ourselves new Rolexes, which was very exciting. That was a big one, though. That was one that we had on our wish list for many years. And we also celebrated a different milestone, which was just a different sales goal,
right?
By buying ourselves our first Rolexes. We told that story in one of the first episodes of Appointment Only. We didn't really do much research on how much Rolex cost.
Sure didn't.
And that was a reality check, but we still did it. And I'm glad we did. Looking back, I don't regret it at all, even though it was, maybe not the smartest thing to do.
But we've celebrated a number of things. I remember going to Giordano's Pizza when we launched a new website. It can be something as simple as that. Mm-hmm. There was one year where we hit the 7-figure mark, and I think we went out for burgers. Like, it doesn't always have to be.
You know what we still do sometimes is if we have like a really good Friday, we'll say, DoorDash yourself something tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, you earned it.
Yeah, go ahead and DoorDash yourself something on the business.
Yeah, that's right.
We do that. I mean, I think it's nice to acknowledge. It doesn't have to be a big thing. It doesn't have to be an heirloom that you purchase for yourself and a new artwork piece.
How many diamonds am I going to get today?
I think I'm going to get a whole tennis bracelet.
Oh boy.
It doesn't have to be something huge, but it's just something to mark the occasion, because it's really important to celebrate the small stuff, because if you don't do it, no one will.
But you're never going to have anything to celebrate if your goals are too out there. And I think that's one of the things that is really important as business owners. Of course, you should have big goals. Of course, you should have dreams. But goals are meant to be achieved sometimes. So make sure that they're set in a realistic way, not in a way where it's like, oh, I know for sure I'm going to hit that, so I'm going to pretend like that's a goal. That's like making a to-do list after you already did everything just so you can physically check things off.
That sometimes feels good though.
I'm sure it does.
Oh,
but
yep.
That's
Clean
not
the bathroom. Check.
check.
Vacuum the floors. Check. You're on a roll, my friend.
Sharp my pants. Check.
Clean it up. Check, check, check.
Shower with my clothes on. Check. But I think goals in business are meant to be a little bit of a stretch and are ultimately meant to be achieved, assuming you do the things that you need to do in order to achieve those goals.
I think that's a huge mistake that a lot of business owners make is they dream. I think they dream too big, too fast. I'm not saying you shouldn't dream big. Do not let that be the takeaway. You should dream big. What I'm saying is you got to be realistic too. Come January 1st, a lot of people are going to say, I want to get healthy. I want to lose weight. And what is a recipe for disaster is when your goal, instead of I want to lose a few pounds or I want to get healthier, when your goal is I'm going to go to the gym every day this year. When you go from that to that, that's just, you're asking for disappointment.
Or if the idea is, let's say you're 50 pounds overweight and your goal is I'm going to have a 6-pack, the chances of you running out of steam before that gets accomplished is really high.
Let's say you started your business this year.
Okay.
And your goal is to be a billionaire. Why not start at a millionaire?
Right.
Those are the types of things where I think.
Or why not start with, I want to turn a profit?
There you go. I like that. That's better. So goals that are achievable, but still lofty.
Right. Something that is not currently something you are accomplishing, but something that if you do the right things and you do the right things time after time after time, they are achievable. I think those are the goals that should be set with a much more frequency than those, what do they call them? BHAGs, big, hairy, audacious goals.
Who's they?
I don't know.
Situation?
People
who say, have a great holiday ahead. Those types of people say BHAG.
Happy holidays ahead.
I
hope you crush your BHAG.
Tell me about your BHAG. What's your BHAG today? That sounds like a bad thing.
But not everything needs to be a BHAG. And at some point,
don't ever say BHAG again. We're never going to do that again.
Why?
Because it sounds dumb, and I'm pretty sure it's like a BNI thing.
No, it's not.
I think it is.
It's common. It's commonplace.
No, it is not.
Yeah,
when was the last time you had a conversation with someone and they used the word BHAG?
I don't know.
Other than when they were talking about you.
This is
Look at this BHAG.
Look at this BHAG. It's common.
And how do you know that? What did you search?
A BHAG is I just searched BHAG. A BHAG is a compelling long-term business goal that seems unreasonable but is achievable.
Okay, I stand corrected.
So, but not everything has to be so out there. Not everything has to be, because at some point, even the dreamers get frustrated. Goals are designed to be achieved at some point. And one of the things I believe that sets entrepreneurs apart is they are achievers. They have that achievers mentality. So you want to be able to actually set yourself up to achieve things while balancing what is still out there to be achieved.
Oh yeah, it's a good mix between achieving and dreaming.
So an example in our world would be, what would be a goal that feels lofty to you, that assuming life continues to go down the path it's headed is achievable one day, but you're not there yet?
I would love to take a month during the cold winter months and go be somewhere warm.
There we go. BHAG.
Just call me a BHAG. I'll go BHAG for that for sure.
But all we're saying is,
and notice how I said a month, because what I would ultimately like to do is the entire winter.
Right.
But you got to start somewhere, and a month would be great. I mean, I can't even tell you that I've never even taken 2 weeks off. So I'm taking a month and being someplace else would feel awesome, and
You've never taken 2 weeks off like back to back.
Correct. Consecutive weeks.
Right. All we're saying is,
I mean, at one point it would have been a vacation.
Exactly.
Not that long ago, we would have said, "Oh, I would love to just take a vacation
of some sort
that isn't work related somewhere
And
warm.
we started small. I remember one of the first things we did was like we went up north.
Yeah.
And it just felt like, oh man, we're such grown-ups.
Yeah, we stayed in a hotel. I remember being like, wow, are we rich?
No. Spoiler alert, no.
No, but it was so cool. It was so cool to be somewhere else and to feel like, oh, this is what all the fuss is about.
But there are people out there who are just dreamers and they accomplish very little. There are also people out there who are achievers and they set goals to achieve them. They set the goalposts a little bit closer and then they're able to knock it through and knock it through and knock it through. And it's not that the people who set goals that are achievable are shooting for something underneath what dreamers shoot for, or they want less, or they're satisfied with less. It's just that they're positioning themselves to succeed. They're positioning themselves to have something to celebrate, as opposed to running on a hamster wheel of business. And that's all we're saying is, in order to be able to feel like as an entrepreneur, you are succeeding sometimes, or you have something to celebrate, it's by actually checking things off of your goals list sometimes. That's where it makes sense to set goals that can be achieved and then celebrate it when you do.
So that's one thing that I really want to nail home here is this idea of setting goals, because I think that's another mistake people make. First of all, they set goals that are way too lofty, that are really dreams, that are really,
they're dreams. They're
highly
not goals.
Unlikely to ever be accomplished. It doesn't matter how good you're doing or how well you're showing up. It's a dream.
And it's never enough.
The other problem that I think so often happens is that there are far too many goals that are being set. There are way too many things that people are saying, oh, I want to do this and I want to do that. We used to do that. We used to set our goals every year and we had like 15 of them. And I don't remember when that changed exactly, but at one point we decided, okay, what we're going to do instead is we're going to have 2 main goals. And underneath each of these goals will be a bullet point list of like bonus goals. Assuming we're able to accomplish this goal, it would be great to also have done these things. The first year that we hit that sales goal where we bought our first Rolexes, we had a bigger sales goal for the year. And we said, well, it would be really helpful if we were able to hit that sales goal because that would bring us really close to our revenue goal for the year. So we don't set goals exactly the same way anymore, but that's how we started. And it was so much more palatable when we were able to focus specifically on just a few goals instead of having 15 different things we were trying to accomplish all simultaneously.
We would usually have some sort of a yearly financial goal, which we looked at things and still do as a year. I know many people look at things as a month. Some people even look at things as a week. They have a weekly sales goal.
I could never. I would always be stressed.
Well, 2 weeks ago, we made a dollar amount that would have been 1/5 of what our weekly sales goal would be, given what we want to make. I would have been so depressed after the week we had 2 weeks ago, where we would have made 1/5 of what our weekly sales goal would be. Next week, we 15x'd the week before. It all comes out in the wash, but don't be so focused on a weekly sales goal. We do have monthly sales numbers that we want to hit, but ultimately we're looking at the year because we know there's inevitably going to be a clunker month. There's probably going to be a slow quarter. There's going to be these things that we could choose to be really frustrated about, or we could just focus on the bigger picture. So as we set goals, we've always had a yearly sales goal that we want to hit. Then there's usually some sort of a specific business goal. Some years it's been, we want to have a clear strategy for marketing. I remember that goal being one.
Yeah.
I remember a goal being at one point in time, we need to figure out a more long-term space. There was a year there where we felt a little bit in flux with our physical space that we were operating in. And we're like, this year has to be the year that we find a little clarity.
One of the years I remember it had to do with support staff. We wanted to hone in that person's role. One year it was, we really want to work with this one person in town who we'd wanted to work with for years. And they ended up on our goals list. It can be any number of different things. That's just, how it worked for us. I think the perfect analogy for this and the idea of knocking goals down one at a time in a focused way has to do with what happened in my backyard last week. I had a tree taken down, and there was the chainsaw. If you've ever taken a tree down or had someone take a tree down, how does it work? It's the chainsaw. It's in that same spot, over and over and over. They do switch angles, but they're hitting that same spot. Different angles because they want to make sure that the tree falls in the right direction.
Right.
That would have been a bad one if they would have hit it and it would have fallen down on my house. But they're knocking down at the same spot over and over and over. The repetition, they're very, very clear on the one thing they're after. And then eventually, it doesn't take all that long even. Eventually, boom, the tree gets knocked over. But you think about, what if the person with the chainsaw didn't have a strategy? What if they were going zip, 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 up, down, over, this branch, that branch. Oh, we're going to come here again. Boom, 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 boom. They could be trying to knock that tree down for 2 years and it would never fall. It would just be little knocks off the tree. I thought that was a beautiful analogy for setting goals and being able to actually accomplish them. Repetition over and over, a crystal clear vision on what you're after.
Super targeted, direct.
Yeah.
No mistaking what you're trying to do, naming what you're trying to do, and then eventually you do that thing, and then it's on to the next.
Setting those realistic, achievable stretch goals. But then also, this is the kicker, and this is why we're talking about it today, the day before Thanksgiving. Setting the intention to celebrate it when it's achieved. Not just the intention to celebrate it, get specific. If and when I accomplish this thing, what am I going to do? Am I going to take an extra day off? Am I going to take a little long weekend? Am I going to go somewhere? Am I going to buy a Rolex?
And then guess what? You
actually have to do it. Yeah.
Do it. I know the temptation is going to be, I do this thing, but I know I said I would do this,
but I know I'm a little busy.
But I'm busier.
We just had Christmas. I'd really rather not.
No.
There's always going to be a reason not to do it.
You don't get to do that. You've got to force yourself to celebrate yourself, because no one else is going to do it for you.
You don't have a boss. Your boss isn't going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I don't know what you're up to. I can't celebrate you.
I mean, do you know how easy it would have been when we hit that Rolex sale for the first time to take one look at the price tag and say, oh, never mind.
Yeah, I'll come right back.
Yeah. What do you got? What type of tutor do you have? What type of Omega do you have? It would have been so easy to shift gears and not do what we said we were going to do. Looking back, was it the best? Does it pass the banker test? No. But I'm so glad that we did it. And you have the opportunity to set these types of milestone rewards for yourself. And then when you accomplish a goal, do the thing that you said you were going to do. And if that means when you're writing goals out, if you have to additionally write down the thing you're going to do after you accomplish it to physically check that off the list, once that's done, do it.
Yeah, I think you should. That's a great idea.
But it's going to be so easy and so tempting to change what you said you were going to do for yourself. Just don't do it. Do the thing you said you're going to do, and there's no way you're going to regret it.
As we're ending this episode, I'd rather not end it with bad business advice. I think how we should end it is we should share a couple of things that we're grateful for, like one each. One thing that we're grateful for as it relates to business, work, the podcast. As it relates to business that we're grateful for this season.
I'm grateful for an upcoming move of our shop that I'm anticipating, even though there's a lot of unknowns, I'm anticipating the other shoe dropping. What about you?
Excellent. Well, mine also has to do with the move, but I'll change it up a little bit. I'm grateful for the specific space we're moving into. It's a sort of a long-term dream of ours. It was a very, very, dare I say, BHAG.
See, now you're saying BHAG.
Oh, it just rolls off the tongue.
BHAG.
It was a BHAG. No, but it was a very lofty goal. It was something that definitely would not have been even remotely possible even a couple of years ago.
Well, and talk about setting realistic goals. Like, as our business has grown and changed, we have gone after different better spaces every time we've moved. We have been very intentional about we're not going to just move to move laterally. We're going to move up. And this is going to be our 4th location. I think too, we're finally entering into this business location that we were like it was literally a dream.
Yeah.
X number of years ago. But doing the things and accomplishing these goals, you better believe we celebrated every time we made a move, even though it wasn't this lofty dream move. It was an achievable location shift. And here we are. I don't want to say live in the dream, but here we are
Living la vida loca.
about to open up a shop that, rewind 10 years ago, could have never imagined being in this location.
Yeah, a beautiful area, super upscale, just it completely fits everything that we've been working toward for the last decade. And we will be celebrating it. We are going to be hosting our very first ever party for ourselves, which feels a little self-congratulatory, but you know what? We deserve it. So we're going to do it. It coincides with our 15-year business anniversary. So we're going to be celebrating that one this year as well. So we are going to be doing it up. There's going to be no shortage of things to celebrate come the end of 2025, early 2026. And so I'm really excited about that. And I also am anticipating another shoe dropping. But even if another shoe doesn't drop for a while, that's fine. We have a lot to celebrate and we have a lot to be grateful for.
And tomorrow, one of the things, speaking of setting realistic goals and feeling accomplished in them, one thing that I'm going to be thankful for tomorrow is that this November has not nearly been as slow as some of the other Novembers that we have. Has this been one of the best months of the year? Absolutely not. But it's a lot better than a lot of Novembers have been. And so I am thankful for that.
There's a lot to be grateful for, not just this year when things have been going excellently well, but even in the years when I look back when things weren't always going as well, or business wasn't quite as strong, or there wasn't a really exciting impending move coming up. There's always so much to be grateful for. And we would encourage you to take stock of what that is for you, what you've accomplished this year, these last few months, what you are anticipating accomplishing in the next calendar year. Whatever it is, make sure to stop and celebrate those things, be grateful for them, because if you're not going to celebrate them, nobody will. We have a newsletter. And if you'd like to join, we would love to have you on it. It's pretty chill. All you got to do is sign up for it, totally free. And we'll send you an email every week and just gives you a little insight into the episodes, but also whatever the happenings are in and around us. It's called the King's Herald, which is a little ode to a family business, which I believe we talked about in the first newsletter. But anyway, you can join the newsletter, sign up in the link in the bio. At this point, Luxury Clothier Collective enrollment is closed. You missed it if you were waiting. It actually filled up before today, but it's closed today anyway. Today was the cutoff, but it closed earlier because we filled it up. So if you're interested in joining the waitlist for that, you can also do that link in the bio. And for those of you who are loving the podcast, we would appreciate if you would subscribe, if you would give us a 5-star rating, write us a nice review, give us something to be thankful for this holiday season. And don't forget to have a great what did you say?
Happy holidays ahead.
And happy holidays ahead. Happy Thanksgiving. This appointment's over. We'll see you for your next one.